is rare in the wilderness, so mobile devices.
Back out on the trail. I am in the Superior National Forest in the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness. And that way over there is Snowbank Lake. So I am about a half hour northeast of Ely, Minnesota, probably about 10 miles south of the Canadian border. It's a beautiful day. I've done this trail. I'm trying to decide if this is my third or fourth time on here. It's a trail that I really love. In fact, I was just on here 6 months ago in November, and that trip was eventful. I forgot to mention, we are also on the North Country Trail that shares this trail and kind of loops through here. So the Snowbank Trail, last November, there was no snow on the ground when I started. Usually there would be a ton of snow up here in late November. However, there was not, so I came up here. Everything was frozen. It was super cold, it was super windy. I had all sorts of gear because of those cold temperatures. And, I had a hatchet, I had a big saw, I had a big whisper light, stove and the fuel. I think I had a 0-degree quilt this time. Temperature right now is awesome. It's probably about 50 degrees, perfect hiking weather. Weather should get down to 40. I have my 40-degree quilts. That last trip I had big boots on. Now I've got the trail runners. My pack weighs about 20 pounds. So it should be a lot easier than last time. But yeah, it should be fun here. I'm going to make a little bit different path this time though. If you just strictly stay on the Snowbank Loop Trail, it's about 20 miles. What I usually do is I circle around and go around Disappointment Lake, which turns it into 24 miles. And I wanted to go a little bit farther this time. So I'm going way farther east. I'm going to be on the Old Pine Trail, which circles back around and connects with the Snowbank Trail. So I won't actually see that Snowbank Lake until tomorrow again, where I'll probably be camping by it. Enough yapping. Let's get hiking. On day one, I hiked 16 miles. I headed east on the Kekakabik Trail, then north and back west on the Old Pines Trail, and camped on the north side of Disappointment Lake. Every time I come to one of these open areas with water around it, I'm always looking to see if there's a moose or a bear anywhere in this big open area. Water right over here. Doesn't look like there's anything today, but it's always good to slow down, be quiet, and see if you can sneak up on somebody or some animal when you're in this area. I'm walking up the trail here and I see there's a beaver dam right up here. So right on the other side of that dam, there's a bunch of water and a big wide open area. If I'm quiet here, maybe I can see an animal when we walk up through here. Cool. You're gonna see some animals out here. In fact, I was on Facebook this week and somebody saw a bear right on this trail, a good-sized bear. So that was kind of cool. And what's really strange is about an hour south of here, they caught this cougar, this mountain lion, walking around. It's a big cat, and we usually don't have those type of things up here, so that's a little freaky. Made it to Ulworth Lake. Real nice. Pretty good sized lake. I was hoping to camp here. I'm about 12 miles in. It's about 4:30. I'd like to stop here. Given that I'm only doing 30 miles, you know, it doesn't make sense to go a whole lot farther than 12 miles the first day when you have another 2 days left. But I can't find the campsite. I'm going by Gaia, and it shows a little tent here. Looked all around. A lot of times they're along the shoreline for canoers and not for hikers, but it's a big cliff along the shoreline. So I couldn't find it. And I've been on other hikes where Gaia said that there was a campsite. There wasn't a campsite. I do have another map from National Geographic that's a little better in identifying where you are and where the campsites are. However, I am on the very east side of this hike, and it's just off the map. So I am afraid I'm going to have to hike another 4 miles here. That's all right. With views like this, there are worse things to do. Damn. Beaver dam, actually. This one is a wet one. Lots of water running over the top. Upside of the beaver dam. Beautiful. Lower side of the beaver dam. Also beautiful. I know this old pine trail isn't as well traveled, but I feel like I'm on a game trail here. There's some moose tracks, but there's not really much of a trail here. And I've got another 3 miles of this BS. So not kind of scratching up the legs a little bit. I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm gonna get to camp. Wine. I'll be fine. Ow. Whew. Never been so happy to see some cairns. If you don't know, that's how you mark the trail when you can't put up a sign. Cairns are good. Rock stacks that people make for art, not so good. Another beautiful lake here behind a beaver pond. Beautiful. There's a beaver house right there. See some things swimming around down that way. It looks like it's a duck or a loon or something. So it's beautiful hiking later in the evening like this. You know, even if it's not preferred and you'd want to be at camp. Just, I don't know. Just have to kind of reframe it in your mind and enjoy it. It's a little cooler. The sun's at a lower angle. Other than walking through BS like this, it's pretty nice. Looking into the sun there. But that, my friends, is Disappointment Lake. I'm not disappointed to see it. I am back on the map where it's geolocating me, and I'm coming up on 3 campsites. So hopefully I can find one of these 3 campsites. Made it to camp. Got my hammock all set up. Just making some dinner right now. Gonna try an oldie but a goodie. Chicken teriyaki. It's probably been a good 4 or 5 years since I've tried this one. But I think I liked it back when, so variety is the spice of life. Can't go with the peak refuels all the time. So this campsite, it's pretty nice. There's a nice fire ring over there with some logs around it for seating, but I'm not building a campfire tonight. Don't have really a saw to process wood. It's not going to get dark for another hour. It's like the longest days of the year. So I'm just going to enjoy the water. The sun is setting over that way. Hiked a lot farther than I was planning to today, but I'm all right. What do you think? Is it worth it? I think so. Morning, friends. We got a thunderstorm rolling in. Been hiking for about a half hour. Been hearing thunder in the distance. The rain has just started. On day 2, I hiked 14 miles going around the north and west side of Snowbank Lake back to the trailhead. If you go hiking in the Boundary Waters, you have to be mentally prepared that you are going to have a lot of obstacles to go around. Similar to this. A lot of tree falls, and it isn't just the tree fall that you climb over or tuck under. It's all these old pines that are hard on the legs and a little bit more difficult to get through, but I don't know, when you're planning your trip, don't plan for 3 miles an hour, because you're gonna have all sorts of obstacles like that to get through. Probably about once every quarter mile you're gonna have something like that, and not just open trail like this. That was fun. I was still on that old pine trail for most of this morning. However, I have just gotten my first glance of Snowbank Lake. Nothing better to see that blue water and some blue skies. Oftentimes I'm in a hurry when I'm backpacking, but sometimes I'm smart enough to just stop, don't talk, just take a big inhale and enjoy the surroundings. This is my favorite spot on the Snowbank Trail. It gives you a little bit of elevation so you can see all of God's glory in the Snowbank Lake. And by the way, woo buddy. It's a momentous occasion. There are a lot of ticks on this trail. This is the 98th that I picked off this trip. 99th. Who's the lucky one? Who's the lucky one? There he is. 100. Yay! Yay! All right, we got some more though. 101. This dirt. There you go. 102. Oh, lucky number 103. Good times. I made it to Bass Bay. I camped here in November when I was out. Beautiful campsite down here. However, I only have about 8 miles left of trail. It's only about 11:30. So I made a big mistake when I was planning for this trip and packing for this trip. When I went to make my dinner last night, when I'm 14 miles away from my car, I discovered that I didn't have my rucksack and all of my line for hanging my food bag. So I got it up in a tree as far as I can using my hiking pole, and I was lucky enough to not have anything disturb it. But I'm thinking the responsible thing to do here on this trip is complete this hike today. I'm going to go into Ely. I'm going to go into the DNR office there again. And I'm going to see if I can pull a permit for the Angleworm Trail, which is about a half hour away from Ely. It's about a 14-mile loop. So when I'm in Ely, I'll buy some line and get some supplies where I can hang my food bag tonight if I can get a permit on Angleworm, which only has 2 permits per day. So we'll see what happens, but 8 miles left on this trail, and it's beautiful out. I'm going to enjoy it. I made a new friend on the trail. Oh, maybe not. Hi, buddy. You don't have to be afraid of me. Oh, right down in the bush. Made it back to the trailhead. Took a little bit longer than I expected. Shooting those shots over the beaver dam. Take a little bit longer than you'd think. So, I'm here. Need to rush in. I've been saying to the DNR, that's actually the Park Service, see if I can pull that permit, get on the angleworm. But before, I have one last piece of business. 198, 199. Hey, there you go, big fella. You have the honor of being number 200. You didn't want to go. You got any more? We got any more? 201. Back at the Park Service office here. Cross my fingers. Hopefully I'll be able to get a permit. Grab my water bottles, fill those up while I'm here as well. I got my permit. Just made it by the skin of my teeth. Closed at 4:30. They were locking the doors as I walked in. Got my permit. I got some water. I'm gonna head into Ely, get some rope for hanging my food, probably grab some dinner. But that is the end of this video. If you want to see my angleworm trail video that I'm about to start right now, go ahead and hit subscribe, punch the bell notification, check out Midwest Backpacker on Instagram and Facebook. We will see you out on the trail.